Now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the trip. I'm DWTT. This is Gary, and I've got my friends with me, my panel. You'll see us pretty much every Monday during the regular season. We're talking about what happens when the season's over, but we'll probably do spot shows here and there. But going forward, you'll see us every Monday after the week's games. So first off, I'll go with Matt. Matt, how are you doing?
Doing good, doing good, doing good, doing good.
Cool. And we got Tony. How are you doing?
I can't complain too much. Tornadoes were about 20 miles south of me, so I'm nice and safe. Storms passed.
Nice. That's good. That's good. Hopefully, they don't turn around. All right. So, and Mr. Tom, how are you doing?
You have access to the weekend's football results. How do you think I'm doing? No, I'm doing all right, bud. I'm doing all
We'll
right.
get into all of that. There's we got some smiles on our side, and as you can see from Mr. Tom's shirt, no smiles over there. So we'll get started here. We'll get into our usual formation here, and let everybody have their say. So, as you saw the title of the show, 3 points and an ugly win still equals 3 points, and that's all Arsenal needs right now is wins, wins from here on out. And the more wins they get, the closer they get to that elusive top four spot that they haven't had in a number of years. So we're hoping to see that quickly. That might not help out my friend Mr. Tom, but we'll see how that goes, how the season goes. But yeah, we'll get to Mr. Tom. As you know, this is an Arsenal channel, but we have Mr. Tom on here because I like him. And he'll talk about the Leeds. So for the Leeds fans, you'll get a little bit of that info too. So I got in the house right now. Mr. Steve is joining us. He's listening to us on the bus, huh? He's on the road with the bus. So I guess I haven't. I don't know the story behind that. I guess I should have asked, but he'll tell us at some point in the future what he's doing on the bus. And BX Gunner has joined us from the Boogie Down. He's in there. And tonight's dinner is Chinese, and he's stuffed. Yeah, that's what you do. You just get a lot of that and just eat it. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Tom, the voice of reason. He brings it home when we go a little bit crazy, and we'll try to bring him home when he goes a little bit crazy because that probably might happen as the season progresses. Riddy has joined us. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. And as the title of the show goes, right? And we'll get into it. I guess we'll start right away, get into the game itself, and then we'll kind of see where that takes us. So Arsenal goes to West Ham, gets the win. Anybody who watched it probably was on the end of their seat like me going, damn, this is not good. This is not the way you want to come in and get games against teams that are depleted. I saw bits and pieces of the first half, and I guess that first 30 to 30 minutes for me looked like it was probably pretty bad. We did score, and then going into the half, we basically gave up a goal. All right, we basically gave them an opportunity, and then the second half was kind of a stressful time. I want stressless going forward. That's what I want, but I'm not getting it. Arsenal did get the win, so we'll take the 3 points, but it was ugly, and I don't know. It was hard to pick a really good player, man of the match. I think for most people, you just kind of had to pick the best of the worst, right? So we'll let Matt say his say on that. But Arsenal get the 3 points. We are now in fourth, and we are solidly in fourth. It's all in our hands, right? So Matt, talk to me. Tell me, ugly win, but it's 3 points.
Hey man, you gotta be careful with that language, man. You said solidly. I mean, this is Arsenal.
I did, and yeah, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I should.
No, sirree. We have got a long way to go, gents. We who's up next? Is it the lot down the road up next? Who we got next? Left.
No, we got. It's not the lot down the road. It's Oh,
Southampton.
Leeds. Sorry. Yeah. That's why. Yeah, we have Mr. Tom. So Mr. Tom might be really upset come next Monday if it goes well for us.
Well, see, this is the proverbial trap game for us because they've got to play to stay out of the relegation battle. So now, this is I think I said it last week. Each game has to we have got to go one game at a time. one game at a time. We can't be looking past the team that we're playing. So 3 points this week. Let's move on. Try to get 3 points the next week. Let's try to move on until we get what we needed. But I will remind you until the end of the season that I told you all 2 months ago, a month ago, Tony came in and backed me up. And we said 15 points. Tony, just look at this. If we'd have had 15 points plus the wins that we've got, we could kick our feet up and we'd be challenging for top 3. I mean, it's absolutely maddening that we put ourselves in this situation. As you stated earlier, the top 6 is pretty much wrapped up. So at some point, we'll probably, it's going to either come down to 4th place in Europa League or Jerusalem, as I call it, after that. So I mean, it's I mean, Jerusalem or somewhere in the Middle East where we going playing somewhere. But I mean, it's just I'll take the win. It was definitely not anything glamorous or it was quite. It's like a bumbling circus. It's the best way I could describe that game Sunday. I mean, we got what we needed. We got out of there. We got the 3 points, so I'll take it. And let's move on. Still a lot of housekeeping to do. I think a lot of people are starting to celebrate a little premature. Remember, we still got to play the lot down the road, and they're scoring goals. And Harry Kane has not gotten his ceremonial injury as he normally gets his injury this time of the year. So it looks like it's going to be neck and neck there towards the end. So.
No, definitely. So yeah, I guess I did overstep my bounds. I did feel a little too confident with my comments there. Sorry about that. But yeah, you want to be
stop being carried away, Gary.
Yeah, that's right. Let me say hi to some people that joined us. Let's see. Stan has joined us. Welcome to the show. And Steven has told us about why he's in the bus. So he just dropped some group of workers off. And in northern Alberta, I assume it's still cold there, right? I think that's what I heard. The Assembled has joined us. Welcome to the show, and we'll continue on here. So yeah, we're just talking about the 3 points Arsenal got, and my understanding what the numbers say is that top 6 for Arsenal is pretty much set in stone, no matter what they do. United. With the way that they've been playing has basically helped solidify a spot for Arsenal, at least in the Europa League. So there you go. So we're in. So Tony, 3 points, ugly, but guess what? We got Europe football coming no matter what we do.
Yep, they're another ugly game. Pretty much all our games for the last 3-4 months have been ugly. But we've picked up points on most of them, except for those 3 games we dropped in a row, which is unexcusable. To me, we're still not near good enough. Manager's still struggling. But everybody around us is screwing up. Chelsea's screwing up. We're 3 points behind them, but about 20 goals behind them. So we'd have to actually get ahead of them to get in 3rd place. Man United's a mess. West Ham's a mess. We're lucky everybody's slipping up. I don't think it's the manager that's got us where we are. I think it's the players. Still don't like Saka playing. Yesterday was injured going into the last match. Kind of aggravated it during that match. Then aggravated it again this match, even though Arteta said he was fine and good to go. I don't know if you have a thigh injury like that, you're probably still questionable. We've seen what happened, had to come out. So I don't think he should have been playing. I know we keep beating a drum about we need to rotate the players. We don't. But we escaped through it. Hopefully Saka's not hurt. But we still got 4 games to go out and win. I know Tom doesn't want us to win this weekend. He's rooting for a draw.
Yeah, we'll get into that. So let's hold back the talk on that because I don't want him crying before the show's over. All right.
I was stopping there. I was
All right,
parking the
cool.
car.
So there we go. So we'll keep talking. We'll talk a little bit about this game first, and then we'll let Tom have his little. We'll talk about Tom and kind of what he experienced this weekend as well. So as Riddy says, we've got the voice of reason, the voice of the great prophet, and I think Matt got a name too. I can't remember from Riddy, but I'm the voice of DWTT. So there you go. So yeah, so 3 points once again puts us. What probably it sounds like 6 points away from where we want to be, which is top 4. Along the way, we will have to play a team that's really close to Mr. Tom's heart, and if we do what we want to do, he will not be happy about it. Once again, it'll be another weekend of sadness for Mr. Tom. So tell me, Mr. Tom, you can talk about our game first, and then you can talk about what that means for you.
I haven't actually seen your game because after the full-time whistle went at Goodson Park yesterday, I turned the TV off and I jacked in football until about 20 minutes ago, where I came on this show. So that's what I did. I watched a Man United game earlier, but that's because I was paid to at work. But other than that, I was just.
You're watching wrestling.
Sorry, everyone. Sorry,
Tell
everyone.
us you're watching wrestling.
No, sorry, everyone. Congratulations on your Europa League minimum guarantee finish, whatever you want to call it. Congratulations. Very much worthy. Oh, God's sake, really. What?
Oh no.
I can't believe he went there.
You're trying to upset my panelists. Come on, Riddy. Stop that.
This is disgusting. Is there not like some timeout procedure you can do
we
or
can
something?
time him out if we want to. So that's your warning, Mr. Riddy. Be nice.
Yeah. On my usual show, we'd get a booking for that. Anyway, anyway, yeah, no, seriously, congratulations. I felt it was a good result for you. From the sound of it, you made a bit of a struggle of it, but ultimately, it's the sort of result that you need to get if you want to finish where you want to finish.
That is true, and tell us. I guess let's give a little bit of a. I actually have a little banner here for you, actually. So here we go, Mr. Tom's segment. So you can actually give us a little say on how things are looking for you for Leeds and kind of what you're. Hopefully,
tell us what you think of Chelsea, Tom.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
No. How things are looking for Leeds? Let me give you a rundown on Saturday at 5:30 English time. Right, 1 minute gone in the game. I'm sitting there. We've not conceded to Man City, so I'm thinking, we're just as good as Real Madrid because that's how long it took them to concede against Man City. Got to the 9th minute. We were still at 0-0. Real Madrid were 2-0 down at that point. So I'm sitting there thinking we're officially better than Real Madrid, and then. 90 minutes later, I'm like, we've just lost 4-0. And I'm like, no. But in all seriousness, right, no Leeds fan genuinely sat there thinking we're going to turn Man City over. It was all, is Burnley going to win? And is Everton going to win? And unfortunately, Burnley won and Everton won. And it's very frustrating that my team are now the favourites to go down despite the fact that we've took 11 points out of the last 6 games. Like, we're not doing poor, but everyone else is also winning. Annoying. Frustrating.
Yeah.
And the fixture list is not very kind to us, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, hopefully all you can hope for is that Everton, this is a little teaser for some pain that you think you're going to get, but it actually doesn't. It's like when you go to the doctors and they say it's going to hurt and it doesn't really hurt. It stings, but then it goes away. So hopefully this is what this is. This is just a little prick, but then the pain, there's no pain. So that's what we're hoping for you. We'll continue on with anybody have anything to say in here? So yeah, I think they're realizing the errors of their way, right? Yeah, he's realizing he didn't need to go there.
I think Leeds will be fine. Perfectly.
Yeah.
I don't think
I still can't believe Leeds
Yeah.
have done as good as they have.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, they only had a 5% chance of getting relegated, and now they have a good chance of getting there. Hopefully, it doesn't happen. I
No, I
still
don't.
don't think it will.
Anywhere because I'm sitting here looking at Burnley's schedule, and Burnley's got Villa, Spurs, Villa, and Newcastle, and I don't see them winning all of those games. They may get a draw in there with Villa on one of those games, but I see Newcastle beating them, Spurs are beating them, and I think Villa get them on Saturday. So I think as long as the Leeds find a win, find a win somewhere, I think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
See?
I mean,
Everton's worries me. Everton's team that kind of like worries me because they even
makes
though
me feel better.
well I mean, even though Everton won Sunday, they're still like down there, and that's got to be that's a crazy feeling because they put a lot into their game yesterday, and they're still sitting there, and of course by the time they play us, that game could be us getting fourth place or not. So I mean it's a lot left football left. So I wouldn't. Tom, I wouldn't too much stress myself over.
yeah, and they've got 5 game. Is it right? They've got 5 games to squeeze into this to their schedule. So they're not gonna be able to hold up. All right. I mean, this is probably 2 midweek games, probably, right?
Yeah.
They've got 2 midweek games, whereas everybody else has, maybe we have. Everybody else just has weekend games, if I recall. Yeah. So I think.
Everton's probably going to beat Watford, and they're probably going to end up beating. Well, after that, man, I just think that the Watford game is probably the easiest of the lot. I mean, they got Leicester, so that's probably a loss. Brentford is a toss up, and then you got Palace, which is always a toss up, and of course you got us, which
Yeah.
we are Santa Claus, so we could be the team that keeps them up.
And you know what? And if we don't, if the game doesn't mean as much, then maybe the youngsters get to play. So so that might be a
It's my
plus too.
fault that Burnley scored twice on Saturday because at 1-0, I was sitting there going, Burnley are going to score twice. You could just see it. You could see it in a vision. It was like you didn't even have to be Nostradamus to know what's going to happen. And then it just went 1-1, 2-1, and it was like, of course that was going to happen. Couldn't believe it. Furious. It feels like, and I will never be able to prove this, but it feels like everyone else has downfalls because everyone that seems to play Burnley lately doesn't need to.
The dungeon. This is now your dungeon. The dungeon Wi-Fi is not cooperating.
Oh, God damn it! Sorry. Excuse me.
You went out for
It
a little
looks
bit.
extra dark in there tonight, but Dungeon's darker than it usually is.
It's because the dungeon's sick of losing, Tony. Even though we ain't lost that much lately, if I'm being honest. What's more annoying about it, our form ain't even terrible. It's the best form we've had all season.
Yeah.
Yep. Chelsea's
I
down in
feel
tools.
like we're fighting.
Chelsea pretty much
losing to
knows
Man
they're in the
City.
top 4.
Like no one's going to lose to Man City and then sit there and go, your team's in trouble. Because, I mean, table-wise, we're in trouble. But, in terms of actually getting turned over by Man City, we're not going to be the only team that loses 4-0 to Man City this season.
Because they're gonna need to. I just removed myself from the stream. That's kind of weird.
Hi, Gary.
Yeah, no. City is going to want to win because they're in the driver's seat and they have nobody else to blame but themselves if they don't get the Premier League. So
kind of like you're in the driver's seat, then you hand it
we're
over to me or Matt.
Yeah, it's all So we'll continue on with the game. So I don't know how much more you guys want to talk about it. Like I said, it was for me. It was an ugly game, very, very, very ugly game. And the best players, right, are the players that haven't played much this year. Holding, I think, came in and El Neni looked good. Even Eddie to some degree, he actually played well. I mean, he had opportunities to score, probably should have scored, but that's why he's Eddie. to us, anyways.
He
It's
was
just-
doing a lot of the link-up play because
Yeah.
Odegaard was getting crowded out. So
Yeah. So I mean, we didn't have an answer, and we should have answers for most of the teams we're going to play this year, or else we're going to have problems, right? So, but we had opportunities to, score, and we just did not. We scored. Hey, here we go. Scores in the game. Our center backs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we are. I mean, we need goals.
Sorry,
Who do
sorry.
you go for? You usually go and bring a striker in. You need a winger comes in, an attacking player. Nah, game. Well,
two hitters from corners.
I know. I
Yay.
think I know where Tom's going to go with this. So I'll let you say what you got to say.
Because I seem to recall yesterday, I won't put up the exact wording, but this Tony had at one point put out a tweet that I caught him saying about the defenders were playing poorly, to which I then turned around to Tony and went, "But both your defenders scored."
Yeah, you got. Yeah,
My
yeah. I
wife was
think
gone, of course he has.
They were still poor, Tom.
defensively they struggled, right? But they did score, so they it's a wash when they score, right? It's got to be a wash when they score. So, you know what? We needed goals
just
from somewhere,
amused me.
and we needed points from no matter what, and we got the point, so we're gonna take it. Stefan, welcome. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Yes,
I haven't
yeah,
seen
we play.
Stefan lately.
We play that team soon. We still got 2 weeks until we play them, right? So we'll wait. But we got to win this weekend. Sorry, Mr. Tom. I'm just gonna keep saying that anytime I say how this next week's gonna go. So Matt, talk about our scoring, because I kind of want to lead into our scoring from our defenders, but also we'll talk about Saka as well, kind of where he sits. But yeah.
The thing about it, Gary, is at this stage I just don't give a damn who scored. I just it's all about just getting 3 points now, man. I mean, it's nothing about style points at this stage of the game. It's just getting the points that you need to get over the line. We just got to get over the line. I think we also, I've heard a couple of rumblings this weekend about, Ketchel. Arsenal need to tie Ketchel down to a 2-3 year deal. Yeah, you didn't hear that this weekend?
No, I'm glad I did not see that anywhere. No.
Tie him down. I was like, well, wait a minute, man. I say this a lot of times, man, is that for some weird reason we overreact when it comes to a player that's in form. I mean, you really have to ask yourself, do you really think Nketiah can lead the line for a whole season? No, absolutely not.
Nope.
Maybe in the championship, maybe down at Millwall, maybe down there at Luton Town, one of those teams, but he cannot do it at Arsenal. And I'm glad that he's been able to come in and got us the goals and everything, but I'm not banking a season on Eddie Nketiah. Just not going to do it. Take the $12 million, move him on, and let's get the thing rolling. But no, I don't. But back to what you initially said, I really don't care who scored. Just find the goals. I don't care how they're scored. I don't care if somebody's falling into the goal with the ball in. It's just get the W, whatever it takes. Just whatever it takes at this stage. We'll deal with style once the season is over with. We'll deal with we have a lot to deal with once the season is over with, because if we do qualify, then I can really ramp up a little pressure on the manager and the backroom staff, because I need to know if we're qualified for Europe, I expect for us to start acting like a big club once again, and not acting like a team that's playing in these Mickey Mouse Cups or whatever. The standards have to be raised.
No, definitely. I get that. My thing is, if I feel like we've got other players that are scoring, that's a good sign for us. But when we have nobody, even if Eddie's the one that's taking the shots, which is what was, at least for me, that's the way I felt. He was the only one really getting the shots, and not really doing as well as I think he can do or should be able to do. That's when it's like, you know what, I would like Saka to maybe get more opportunities. Martinelli, I will talk, and I think along with the scoring, the reason why I don't think we see games like this is, who's behind Martinelli? He's got, that kind of hurts. That hurts him, And Tony, you can chat a little bit about the goals from our defenders. I know you didn't think they played well, but they did score, and you've got to take that.
They have 8 goals for the season. Our strike force has 10 for the season. Kind of embarrassing that our defense has 8 goals, is 2 behind the strike force. But to me, like you said, Martinelli, he has Zaka behind him. I'd put Smith Rowe there. If we're to go with that formation, if we're to go with a 4-3-3, we'd have Smith Rowe over there on the left. I think he provides with cover. He can pass the ball, good vision, allows Martinelli to make runs. He's pretty good at through balls to him. So as far as Eddie, I think he did good this game on link-up play and stuff, but his shots were horrible. He's better on the one-on-ones. Tom can come in and get him for Leeds next year.
You know what? If it means we survive, I'll put Eddie up front for all 38 games. I do not care. I will put that man up front myself. I will drive him there. I will carry him on my back to Ellen Road. If that means we are still in the I don't want to play Luton next season unless they get promoted by the playoffs, and then I'll play Luton. But I don't want to play Luton in the Championship. I don't want to go to Barnsley. I can't because they got relegated to League One. So I should have thought that through. But no, I'm telling you, I do not want to play in that EFL Championship. Saturday, Tuesday. It's awful. It's awful. Oh, calm down. Sorry. It's the worst.
Cool your jets, Tom. You're not in there yet.
Man, stop worrying. Y'all not get relegated. Burnley's probably the team that's gonna get relegated.
See, this man, he's making me feel more confident and make me feel more safe about it. He's gone through the fixture list. He's told me the results.
Yeah,
He's actually told me the future, and if that future happens, he'll be my favourite.
I have too, Tom. I just keep telling you you're safe.
Yeah, but you're less than trustworthy. You're less than trustworthy, Tony Turner.
Tony, you call yourself shipwreck. I don't think that qualifies as somebody you go, you know what? I got to put my trust in someone, so I'm going to go with shipwreck. It just,
Some Canadian Chelsea fan called me shipwreck, so I just went with it. I got one leg. Why not? It's funny.
Yeah. So along with the goal scoring, one of the things that did pop up, and this is also kind of a cool thing, is that we always talk about the young players, and we are a team led by our young players. Most teams are led by their more senior players, they're more experienced, they're more technically sound players. Arsenal is being led by a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old, and a 21-year-old. All three of them combined have over 20 goals, if I recall. Yeah, like I have almost 30 goals between the three of them. I don't believe there's any team in the top 5 leagues that had to depend on 25 plus goals from their youngest players. Their youngest starters, and that's where we are. And they're doing well, but they need help. We're not getting it. we got Eddie, Lacazette, and even Aubameyang didn't help us when we needed it. Pepe is he sounds like he's Cinderella, He's Cinderella basically right now, and there is no pumpkin. There is no fairy godmother for Pepe. So he's in trouble, at least here.
It's not like he can do much in 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah. And, so this is a stat here that I saw that was kind of cool, is Saka's got 17 goal contributions by the top 20 on U20 player in Europe's top 5, top 5. When people try to compare them to other players in the same age bracket, they're comparing them to players that are sitting there with some of the top players in the league playing next to them or in front of them or beside them or wherever, So we're not playing with anybody considered a top player, but we're doing good. The youngsters are doing really well. Matt, I'll let you talk a little bit. this is a positive thing we could talk about because this could be the future of Arsenal. It could be the way that Arsenal moves forward. So tell me about the youngsters.
I mean, youngsters are great. Gary, you laughing because you know what I'm about to say. Youngsters are great, but we don't qualify for Europe. They'll be all at Man City and Liverpool.
I think one of them's going to Liverpool anyway.
I mean,
He's a little pet.
no, seriously, man, it's good that we've got a young core because we all went through the British core that didn't quite pan out too well. But this new core seems to be doing pretty good for themselves. The important thing is to put players around them that can bring out the best in them long term, man. I mean, we just need to do what we need to do. I think that we've got a good batch of kids that if we can keep them together and give them the right tutelage, not from this manager, I think we'll be good. We'll be good.
Yeah, and this is something we'll talk about a little bit as far as our targets when we talk about that. So, Tony, Mr. Tom, I guess I'll let you if you have any to say about our youngsters, because
they're all right, aren't they?
They are all right.
I'll see you Sunday, Riddy. I'll see you Sunday. Anyway. No, seriously. I think, right, I understand that the emotions can run high when you feel like you're not going to get what you want. But ultimately, I do think you've had a good season. And outside of one or two spells that your form was less than stellar, generally, you've been quite consistent. And that is why you are looking like you are going to get fourth. You might even get third if Chelsea drop off even further. Will they? Probably not. But the fact that you can still get it still says something. A guy in my work today who was a Tottenham supporter was telling me about the game that's coming up, and he was telling me how the draw wouldn't do any of us any good. And I immediately said to him, no, the draw would be great for Arsenal. What do you mean? I was like, we're like in a boxing match. If you draw that, Arsenal are taking the belt home, and the belt is fourth. So,
Yeah, we need.
They need to beat you more than you need to beat them.
Yes.
So psychologically, that works in your favour.
And nobody expects them to get the win, but everybody expects them to, as somebody said here, I saw this comment. Where is it? Where is the comment here? Yeah. Basically, this is what that team does, right? Just when you think they should, everybody's expecting them to lose, just like when they played City, right? They expected them to lose. Here we go. This is another one of those. Everybody's expecting Liverpool to come out ready to go, and Tony, I guess I kind of jumped the gun there, but we were
I'll
talking.
cover both.
We can cover both, but we were talking about the youngsters and Saka being one of the top youngsters out there in Europe.
Yeah, him and Smith Rowe, I love both of them. I think Smith Rowe is being kind of managed correctly this year. He's not getting all the minutes. He's coming off the bench. I'd like to see him start a little bit more and have Martinelli coming off the bench. But Saka, he's been overplayed. He's played more games than any player under Arteta. He's definitely risking a major injury with him, playing him with a hurt thigh constantly the last 2 weeks. He'll play again this weekend, so it'll be 3 weeks running. He'll probably play him the rest of the season. Hopefully he's fine. But he definitely needs a rest. Had a long World Cup. Then Arteta's played him in virtually every match, every cup. I don't know what's to happen next year when we have Champions League and the 2 domestic cups. Arteta's have to learn that he can only play the great players or best players, which we only have 7 or 8 of in the Premier League. But overall, I like the young players we have, but I'd like to see the academy players. We haven't seen them at all. Arteta doesn't like to take time with young players. That's why I would have liked a Ten Hag or somebody else that will take time with the youth players. They even have Birdcap come back and manage or be over the academy. I like Murder Sacker, but I don't think he's the right person to develop the young players. Somebody that admits they're afraid of the games before the games, admit he had to throw up because he was scared of a game. I really don't want that being embedded into my young players. I want skill, tenacity, and all the other things you want playing for the badge. Smith Rowe and Saka both do that. Martinelli, I'm kind of unsure of because we haven't seen him enough. Seen him in the first 3 games of the season. Didn't see him until Aubameyang got shit canned. But all in all, I like our young players. I like the 23, 24-year-olds we've been bringing in. I kind of wanted us to do that 3 or 4 years ago. We've made that move. But I'm kind of still worried about their development because Arteta doesn't seem to have a style or whatever he's impacting on the young players. Like I said, you don't see the academy players. I want to see them. Hopefully, we're going to have to see them next year because we're not assigning 7, 8 players, which we need. Need the depth. Depth's still horrible. That's why I'd like to go after 30, 40 million players instead of 3 or 4, 70, 80 million players. But I really like the young players we have.
Cool. And that's a good segue into kind of what I was going to think we would talk about next. And I'll let everybody have their say on that as well. We're talking about the young players, but we're also talking about where we go. You know, some of it there's been a lot of talk about where we go from here in terms of the players that we're going to bring in. You guys had some comments in there that we'll kind of highlight as well. You know, Richarlison has come up as a player that, you know, Arsenal could bring in, but I kind of look at him the same way I look at Zaha. I don't think Arteta knows what to do with a player like that because I feel
I would love.
Yeah. I kind of feel like Arteta would look at him and go, I don't know if one can control him or whatever he needs. You know, he's not gonna. Richarlison looks like a player that might be a little bit of a loose cannon in a Arteta system, like a Zaha would. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but that's kind of where I go with him.
Richarlison, Ivan Toney, these are realistic players that we can bring in. We don't need to be over there in the French leagues, man. I mean, if Arsene Wenger was around, we could still go around, you know. But we've been striking out on French players as of late, so I mean, you know, we may need to change our perspective.
We might have a French player we signed and we never see play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, you got one you spent 70 million on, and you seen him play maybe a total of 15 times since he's been here. I think that one of the things I would like for us to start doing is going back. You know, we used to get players in the Premier League, man, but we know, or even down in the Championship. I know somebody was like, "Wow, you can't believe Matt said get players from the Championship." I mean, it's a lot of hard-working players down there, man. I mean, they're battle tested, man. I mean, like Tom said, you know, Sunday, Tuesday, they play a brutal schedule down there. They're hard workers, man, and they would really look at the chance of playing for Arsenal as a really huge step up, you know. So, I mean, I think that would be a good piece of business. I think that we could probably go and get maybe two, you know, superstar players for next year. And if I had to do that, I would probably get maybe one as striker or either a midfielder. Really,
what about a striker we're being linked back to again? That was our number 1 target last summer.
Which is who?
Latoro. We're supposedly interested in him again.
Oh well, no, we're not spending money. No, Real Madrid's gonna probably get him as a. They're going to do a rebuild over there, so I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to either there or Barcelona. Somebody was putting in the chat earlier about Son. Son would be perfect for like Real Madrid or somebody. So you know, Real Madrid is going to be spending some money this summer because they didn't do it last year, and Carlo, you know, pulled off a master class, and he got through with the No Country for Old Men. All those old dudes made it. Benzema play like he's 22 years old. That's not gonna happen again next season. So they're probably gonna splash the cash. They'll get Mbappe. They'll go out and get some quality players. And this is why I said that Arsenal's gonna have to be realistic in their uh, approach to getting players for next season for the Champions League. We need realistic expectations. And this is why I try to tell people, like, don't get excited when you see these, it's me and Tony told y'all last week about these linked to, these, you scroll across Google and you see we're EM4, we sent scouts here, all of that stuff, man. Don't get yourself worked up, man. Yeah, that is the classic Draxler link. The Draxler, the Benzema, what's his name plays for Bayern?
It's been 84 years and Arsenal is still linked to Draxler.
Draxler, man.
Draxler, Higuain, they're all.
Higuain. Yeah, Higuain.
That's the one you couldn't think of.
I had to double check that he was a real person because I thought it was just a name that the internet had made up that Arsenal had been linked with.
Well, get ready for the João Felixes. We'll get those in the summer. João Felix will probably get linked to us soon. So, I mean,
there's rumors of that a couple of weeks back.
Yeah, I would be surprised, man. I would not be surprised.
What did I just do there? Sorry, I was moving things around on my screen. So, I just want to say hello to Why Not Spursy, or Why Not Sentiment, as we like to call him, has joined us. So, welcome to the show. We're just talking about Son and talking about players that we want to bring in. I'll let Tony have his say on that as well. All I want, and this is really easy. All I want is something better than what we got. We've got lots of holes where we don't have anybody, right? I mean, right now we have maybe 13 players that Arteta is confident in and trusts. So he's got another 12 players that he needs to figure out who they are. So
more than that for Europe, because you can have more in Europe.
Yeah. I love that Riddy and Stad brought up the same thing within about 10 seconds of each other. Sorry, that was beautiful. Sorry. It was literally like bang, Riddy mentioned this player, and then bang, Stan mentioned this player. It was like, that's how you know this definitely happened.
Yeah, so I'll let you have your say about some players that we need to bring in, because as you can see, the little ticker tape there is like, Champions League, are we ready? And we're gonna, whichever way, if it's Champions League, if it's Europa League, we're gonna need players. We're gonna have to be able to compete in the Premier League and 3 different cups, and one of those being in Europe. So we're gonna need all of that. So Tony, I'll let you have your say on that.
Yeah, we keep being linked to some midfielders that are like 80 million. I'd go for Tielemans and Neves. You can get them for 50 to 60 combined, because we need Videf. Both of them are good players. Both of them would help us. Want a world-class striker. Want a young striker. Definitely need more depth than center backs. We don't know what the hell we're going to do with Saliba. I still don't think he's going to come to us. Based on what he's saying, he doesn't really want to come back.
There's 2 different reports then, because there's some reports saying that he's not going. He's coming back.
Yeah, but he said that Marseille is his team. He wants to stay there. Blah, blah, blah.
That's his team right now, because that's where he is.
But he was mentioning coming back there and everything else. So I don't know. I don't think he likes us there. I think the whole not playing in the French Cup final soured his relationship. I don't think Arteta really fancies the guy. We'll find out what happens this summer. He's a homegrown player. Should be stupid to ship him off. We need to see what he has, if he has any talent. I think we overpaid for him, $27 million. There's a lot better young French center backs back there than him that we could have got for the same price or a little less. You look at Liverpool, they got Kanate, played him 24, 25 times this season. Haven't lost one game that he's played in. He's somebody I really liked. It's been great to have him next to Gabriel. 2 brick shit houses back at center back. I would have loved that. We need another center back. 2 starting midfielders and another couple for backups. We just need so much depth. I don't know where it's at come from because Arteta doesn't want to go dip into the academy. So you like to see what other teams do and get a couple of free agents on frees that are 28, 29 years old. Help us for a couple of years, then develop our young players, then have them ready to go out there when they're needed. But we're not to be efficient. We need a lot of people. The number one priority is definitely a clinical striker. Right now, you have Martinez that's got 9 goals out of his last 10 games. He's on fire. He'd be my number one target. If not him, then go look at Nunes. Yeah, they're both going to be 65 to 70 million. But I think they're worth the money. We definitely would have been a lot better off this year if we had a strike force. We spent all the money on the midfield or the defense, and the defense isn't any better. Conceded more goals. But overall, we need a lot of, like you said, we have a lot of holes. I don't think we're going to fill them because we keep loaning out all these players and selling them. You have somebody like Torreira that was the best defender in the big 5 leagues of Europe with the most interceptions or blocks leading to the end of possession. He's a go for 15 million euros. I don't think we ever really gave him a proper role in the team. If he was just a lone central defensive midfielder, I think he would have been good. But overall, like you said, we need a lot of people, a lot of holes need filled, and that's pretty much it.
True. And this comment here, I think, is another thing that I think we also need to do is that we're young enough right now. We've got a really strong young core, and more kids under 24 years old for me is not going to help us with the things that we need to do. I'll give to Tom. This is Tom's coming up next, so I'm going to just ask him a question. So from Rafina, Rodrigo, I think it's Phillips. Which one do you want to keep? Because the other ones are going to Arsenal.
No, if they were, they'd want to play Champions League football with the. You're getting Champions League, ain't you? Oh, that's yeah. They ain't gonna want to play Thursday nights, Gary. I know them personally, and they want to sit home and watch Emmerdale Farm on Thursdays. No, but seriously, I think obviously the emotional attachment from the club and the players would be, if we had to keep one, it'd be Calvin Phillips. But I don't know. It's one of these things. If I want to say if we stayed up, we'd keep all of them, but I think deep down Rafina's on his way out the door, higher up the food chain, because he's obviously a calibre of player that we don't generally see around Leeds' parts, and that's that, I suppose. But
yeah. No, I know it's painful, and I'll
Stay
take
in the
over.
league,
I'll let you hide behind the duck there, and like why not? Sentiment said here for our young players. I think we have a lot of good young players from what we've seen, a little bits of them. They need to go out there and get more experience.
Tom, sit up a little straighter so you have your duck head.
Yeah. So hopefully that's what Arteta decides to do. Right there you go. So we got a new duck up there. So. Yeah, I think a lot of our players need more time on the field, and they're not going to get it with Arsenal, and they're not going to like it in the Premier League, not yet anyway.
They should pay me to do this, really.
I do agree with maybe even getting players from the Champions League, because I think we've played against some of them, right? Spence, we've played against. Everybody loves him. We would love him, wouldn't we? He showed us kind of what he can do. So I kind of feel like, we've got more than enough reason not to have to get a passport and bring players in. They're sitting there playing right in the same country. So why not? So anybody think that this is going to happen? We got top 6. Are we done? Are you going to see a letdown from the players similar to what we've seen from other teams where they have had their struggles? I mean,
You better not.
Every game's a struggle for us, Gary.
huh?
Said every game's a struggle for
Every
us.
game is a struggle, yes. Every game is a struggle,
What?
but I mean,
What?
no matter what we do now, we're in Europe, right?
Yep.
And you
I
know
don't
what?
know.
And you know how this team plays after we score a goal.
Sorry.
This is
But
like
they
I'm
do
just,
have an incentive, Gary. They got a big bonus if we get in the Champions League. So
if they cared about money, they would be playing a lot better than they are today. That's the thing That's the thing that I also would be like, well, there you go. That's what Are they really about the money? Like if Nketiah were to come out every time he played this season and gave us the effort that we've been seeing lately, we saw that all season because he's played him many a time. There's been many a time we looked at. All right, who's coming off the bench? We need to score, and it's been Nketiah. And how many times were we like happy? We've only been happy about it now. We've only been happy about it now. I know I've been talking about that. I don't know if I took away your thunder there, Tony, but
that's fine.
you have anything to say on that one?
I think the players are playing as hard as they can. I think the manager's what's holding the players back. You got Zaka playing over there in advanced roles, which he shouldn't be doing. When you got Smith Rowe, you throw him in there and let him do that. For being a midfielder, it sure seems like he doesn't know much about the midfield because it's always been our weakness. Yesterday, you had Odegaard being crowded out. We didn't have a plan B for it. We got lucky on 2 corner kicks, and our defenders got the ball in. I mean, we're far from where we need to be. I don't see how this team could be in a top 4 race next year with multiple competitions. If we take them seriously at all, it's to be very, very tall task with this manager and the players we have. And even if we sign 2 or 3 top quality players, we still have holes because, like you said, we need 10 players. We're not going to get 10 players.
Yeah, we need 10 players. And before we continue with this top 6 thing, I think one thing that I forgot that I wanted to talk about, I don't know if you guys have a say in it, that watched the game. At one point in the game, I think Nketiah knocks down one of their players, and Cresswell, I think it is, gives him a little shove. And then Mr. Declan Rice actually gets involved for some reason. I'm not sure why. And there's the whole when they were younger in the academy, Nketiah would bring Jollof Rice. Is that how you say it? Jollof Rice to the away games and stuff like that, and everybody ate it, and everybody was happy with that. There was actually a video of Declan Rice talking about that. I mean, this is another one of those like, all right, Nieves goes after us because we're celebrating Champions League wins at their stadium. Declan Rice now seems like he wants to jump on board that one too. So Matt, tell me about what were you thinking when that whole thing went down? I believe you saw the game, right?
It was a bunch of, it was just, as we say down south, just a dust up. That's all it was, just a little dust up. I mean, it was really nothing to write home about, man. I mean, it's like, who gives a damn about this? let's move on. Let's move on. So, much ado about nothing.
Cool. I know you. I thought it was interesting because everybody talks about the leadership that Rice brings, and he's sort of like, for me, got a little bit of a Xhaka moment there as a leader, where he's getting involved. I mean, the other team struggling, but it wasn't a good look for me, anyways, from what I saw. Mr. Tom, you have anything? I don't know if you say you didn't see that. You must have not saw that part, but I'll let Tony go, unless you have something you want to say on that note.
Now, I thought I'd be an amazing panelist and just go, never watched the game, never saw the fight you're talking about. Get me off the screen, please.
All right, we're
Put it back up in the duck spot.
We're gonna go back to Tony. Yeah, so we'll go to Tony. Talk to me about Declan Rice and at least him and Eddie going at it. It seems at least they were, like you said, just a dust up, just a lot of talk. No action.
It's just a lot of talking and squawking. I don't think there's any really thing into it. It's nice to see the players have a little bit of fight. We miss that. Nice seeing Eddie go in there fighting. So I like it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely like Eddie he could fend for himself, right? Which is why I don't think we see, like you said, we've never seen any of our players do that. Eddie was definitely up for it.
Always remember, guys, when the commentators see a fight and say, those are scenes we don't like to see on the football pitch, they are lying. It's exactly the sort of scenes they want to see on a football pitch.
So they can talk about them for the whole entire next week.
Well, yeah, that and just the fact of in the moment, you're like I admire how they don't actually lose control and start going, get stuck in and things like this. Instead, they're all like, yes, I'm sorry, this is rather unsavory behaviour and all this. And it's like, you do not think that. You have to be a robot to think that. Like, no, everyone wants to see a 21-man brawl. There's always one player that's like, oh, no, sorry, everyone, stop fighting and all that. But that's all right. You have a peacemaker. And, yeah. So it turns out I did have something to say about it. But anyway.
Yeah, so we'll continue on with our talk about kind of where we're going from here. And, there was somebody mentioned, like, well, 5 years and we're back in the Champions League. And I guess some would say that coincides with, the arrival of our former captain, so. And he's one of the reasons why we're going to get in the Champions League if it happens, because he's going to have to consistently play the way he's been playing, hopefully better than he did this weekend. So let's hope that happens.
When that Champions League music plays, guys, whoo, you made it.
The championship music. How does it go?
No, the Champions League. No, the Champions League music.
Oh, I thought you said the champion. I thought I heard championship.
No, I've heard both. I've heard the Champions League and the championship music. Don't worry about that. It feels more royal at Real Madrid, funnily enough, than it does.
Come on, Tom.
At Queen's Park Rangers. But yeah,
Tom, do the Champions League theme for us. Come on, you can do it.
No, I can't do it. I'm washing my hair and my vocal cords need resting. But
I see the 5 year curse that Wynot's talking about here. If we were to get Champions League, that might be 5 years more.
Hey, that's a damn plague. That's a plague. That's a curse. That's a plague.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. There is we'll just have him forever. He'll just never leave.
As well. You know what the championship music is? The championship music is, oh, please let me out. Let me back into the Premier League so I can get your 200 million a year TV money.
Wow, is that how much they get?
Oh, it's absurd. It's absurd.
Wow, I didn't realize it's that much.
Considering the championship, you get about 100,000 if you're the home team in the game.
Oh, okay.
And they kept putting Leeds on TV as the away team. So we kept getting moved and getting no money from it. Whereas in the Premier League, you get 2.5 million automatically, both teams, if you moved for TV.
Wow.
And
sorry.
That's why you want to be in it.
All right. So I think we talked enough about football. We'll start to talk about where we go from here and where what's happening next. And we will. So coming forward, as you can see there, we've got Leeds. Sorry, Mr. Tom. Got that team. I don't say their name. Newcastle and Everton.
You can say Spurs. It isn't.
I don't say that name. So there you go.
It's a personal rule for Gary, and we have to respect that.
They call that team. I'm sorry. Yeah, I probably won't get any Spurs fans on here. See, I said it. But because I call him that.
Immediately betrays what I said.
I make Gary break his own rule. It's always that team.
We have to respect the rules of our esteemed host. And then he
Oh
immediately
no, I
goes,
never said you. I never said you. I
"Ah,
never said you had to call him that
Spurs."
team. I did say that. That's what I call him most times, as you can see most times. But yeah, no, if the next two games for both us and that team go the way we plan, right? We get 2 wins, they get a loss this week. It's top 4 is done. We've got it sealed up right then and there. So this should be incentive for the team. I mean, it's right there. You got 6 points out of as possible 6, and you're probably close to guaranteeing what you need. First, you got to get the 3 this week. We're playing at home against Leeds. The fans want to see this. The fans want to see this. The fans do want to see this. Yeah, the team needs to show that they're better than they were last week. That's what I'm thinking. So, Tony, here we go. Next 4 games.
Yeah, each one of them we still need to win. Spurs are right on our heels. So, unfortunately, we need to go beat Tom. We need to go beat Leeds. We need to at least get a draw on Spurs, and we need to win the last 2. Then we're in 4th place, where we want to be, where we should be. I don't know how 4th place wasn't a goal of the season. Adu and Arteta said our goal last season was 4th. This year, with no European football, without that distraction, it always used to be said under Wenger, if we finish outside Champions League, then we can go win the league. But now, everybody was like, oh, we're okay with Europa. No, I don't want Europa. I want to play on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I want to hear the theme song that Tom won't hum to or do whatever.
Now, playing on Tuesdays ain't that hot. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Tuesdays in Europe isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Oh, in Europe? Well, I suppose Birmingham is in Europe, technically. So.
Champions League. Does that get you? Not the championship. Champions
all right.
League.
Mr. Tom, you can see our listing there, but also since we are playing your next,
you can get 9 points. I'm pretty confident you can get. Realistically, you can get 12, but I don't want you to get 12. I want you to get 9. All right.
But you don't
I
want
I want you to get the final 9.
You don't want Twitter to blow up when we lose next week, do you?
I would be ecstatic if Twitter blew up when you lost, because I wouldn't be reading it. I'd be too busy buying lottery tickets, because I know my luck would be in.
Yeah, I hope
God,
so.
it's gonna be difficult.
Tom will go spend like $100 on lottery tickets and
That's exactly what
50 pounds worth of beer.
Yeah.
So Matt, talk to me. We got 4 games. I mean, once again, we're here again, and we got winnable games, but we got some tough ones right now. I mean, not that Leeds is a tough one, but it is the next one, and a slip up here will, could be bad. But talk to me. We've got these 4 games coming up.
2-1 Leeds to Leeds. Tottenham draw. Newcastle win. Everton win. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, and I think that would be more than enough, right? Yeah, if we don't give any points, we get the same points as that team, then we'll be good. So, yeah.
But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised with the game Sunday that it's tough, and that ends up a draw. Don't be surprised if that's a draw.
Yeah, and that's Arsenal for you, right? That's Arsenal for you. Ready? Tom's on the show, so he's going to be on no matter what happens. So we'll see him.
I will be respectful, Riddy, if I get a result that is favourable to myself. Mainly out of surprise, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I think a lot of people will be surprised if it doesn't go our way, right? It doesn't go the red team way. So
I don't actually think we've beat your team in about 19 years. So the omens speak good for you. But
if you do, will you wear a half and half scarf?
Well, yeah, but I'd cut it in half.
Which half would you wear?
The half that wouldn't get me killed, obviously. The Leeds half. If I was caught wearing Arsenal stuff, I'd get murdered. Come on now, Tony.
No,
You know what the football fans in England are like.
You can wear it under your trench coat.
Trench coat. What are you trying to say, young man? Anyway.
I don't know. I know where Tony's going with that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
he's left me speechless.
he just.
I had about 30 potential replies in my head, but I couldn't pick one out immediately. God damn it, Tony.
Yeah.
I say it to him a lot on Twitter.
I did have one last comment here before we go. I think we've all talked about our next games. Some people still think no matter what happens, right? Do we keep Arteta? Do we let him go?
No, we don't keep him. Matt says no.
That's not even up for damn debate. That should not even be a question on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know that Shine needs to go. We know he needs to go.
Yeah,
And
but we know we're stuck with him.
The standard has to be raised. And I'll be honest with y'all. Now, if you want to see him go real quick, drop 5 games next season, right out the gate like we did this year, 3 or 4, with all that stuff, with all those competitions we're in. You can't if they botch this time, he'll be out of here.
Yeah, I don't think we'd fire him if he dropped.
Yeah, you know what would contribute to that is this right here, or the way that we do our summer dealings, right? If we do what we did this past summer, where we're bringing players in after the season starts, and they're potentially starters for us, so we start off slow because we don't have our right players in once again. You can start out with the same results we just had.
Yeah, with all the depth we have, I don't know why we haven't went out and signed any of the free agents that are to be available, sign pre-contracts, get some business done. We did that with a player I want rid of, Zaka. We bought him on a free, so that's why we paid him the money. Or not Zaka, but I was thinking of.
Yeah, no.
Wozniak is who I was thinking of. I was thinking of Sead. We got him for free.
Yeah.
Gave him a huge wage bonus, but I'd like to go see us get some free agents. We need the depth. Get some 27 to 31-year-old players. I think that'd help us.
Don't be automatically in BX. Sorry, it's just.
What did he say?
BX has said if we get 4th, we still have to qualify. No, you don't.
No.
In England,
not anymore.
Automatically in the group stages, baby.
So yeah, we're in. So we just got to stay where we are, and
I'm glad I got rid of that. That was.
Yeah. I like to bring it up. We didn't. You know what? We didn't talk about my favorite player though. So there you go. See.
Who, Martinelli?
We did talk about Martinelli.
Tony's so funny. I was being sarcastic. My favorite player.
Who is your favorite player?
It's not the one that I was commenting about, but
Vaxman. Granite Zaka.
Yeah, that's not my. Player. Yeah, no. Now my favorite player. Who's my? You know what my favorite player? I think
I
actually like Martinelli. I kind of feel like.
I just named it, then you deny it, then you.
I was joking when I was saying it, buddy. I was joking. But now Martinelli's, I think, is my favorite because I know if he gets, he's in that kind of situation with his career right now, which is what I think we saw last year from Saka and Mills-Rowe. You see glimpses of them, and it's just a matter of time before it clicks. All right, maybe a summer off. Also, with the Olympics coming up, he's going to want to be playing much better there. I think we'll see a much better Martinelli next year, and we'll be definitely happy about it, hopefully.
Hopefully he learns team football. That's the thing he doesn't realize, that he has teammates to pass it through. He just runs straight up the field, either straight towards the goal and shoots it, or straight up the left flank.
Yeah.
Gets stuck, tries to cross it. I like the player, but I don't know if he's ever going to live up to his potential or not.
You were asking him to be like a number one, a top player, and guess what? He's still got 2 years from that period. We're rushing these guys.
He got 10 goals his first season with us.
I'm rushing, yeah, but he had a setback, an injury, and a turnover of staff. I mean, all of that stuff hurts the players. We say it all the time. So
Well, it hurts for players. We don't have
I don't
somebody
need
to
him to
help
be.
develop
I don't
them.
need him to be perfect today. I don't. I need to see glimpses, and hopefully we see better consistency going forward. But talk to me in 3 years when he's here, and then we're like laughing, right? That's what I want, because that's where we're. That's when you have your top players, right? They're in their.
I'm just afraid you're
23,
not going to
20.
see much next season since we're supposedly targeting a winger. You're definitely not replacing Saka, so you're going to be replacing Martinelli. Either that makes him backup left winger or second or third option as striker.
And maybe that's part of the rotation now. But that's, I mean, Milsrif Rowe is sitting, and he would. And at the start of the season, people thought he was going to start, right?
Yep.
So there you go. And it's not bad for their careers right now. I don't believe it's bad. We need, that's why we need some older players to come in. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I feel we need some older players to come in to, push these younger players to the bench once in a while, because I think they need it mentally. We're gonna, and then if we have Europe going, we're gonna have more than enough games to rotate if our manager decides that rotation is the way to go.
I'd like to see some 27 to 30 years old in midfield or defense, because that's usually when they're hitting their prime. There are plenty of people you can get on free that's on expiring contracts.
Yeah.
I'd go ahead and get it done now,
Yeah.
but we haven't done that at all. The last one I can think of was Kolesniak was the last one we've signed a pre-contract.
Yeah. And, we haven't signed.
Can you think of another one, Matt?
We haven't signed a player in that age group that actually has been good. Like who's?
I mean, we signed William on a free, but we paid him $30 million in total.
Yeah, we paid him top dollar to do nothing.
Yeah, no, we need to bring in some 25 and up players that can push for starting positions and can actually play. So I always look at the reason I always talk about the young and the old players is because I looked at Bayern Munich when they were a big team, right? And Muller was on their bench. He was 22 years old, playing behind Ribery and Robin, right?
You said when they were a big team.
I said when
they were a big team.
Well, I'm sorry, not the not the right wording. Sorry, that's not what I meant.
They've just won their 10th title in a row.
Right wording.
That's what you talking about.
When they were doing better in the Champions
League. Sorry, it's a bad word.
What do you mean when they were putting 10 goals past you over 2 legs and things like that?
Yeah, back then, yeah. Well, basically, what I meant to say is
their glory years against
when Ribery and Robin were, one of the top players in the world, right? And and you had Muller still on the bench, right?
16. Huh? Here you go. Here's Barcelona. Here's Real Madrid. Here's Bayern.
Those are the games you want to be in until you're in them.
Well, the reason why I bring that up is because that's why I'm like, we're not in a rush to get our youngsters going. If Muller, who was 22, was sitting on the bench, think about we've got Martinelli and Milsrif Rowe and Saka having to play. And we're talking about being in a situation where we can actually compete in the Champions League and the Premier League. The only way you can do that is if those players with those talents come off the bench to help you when you need a little bit of energy, not because they got to start. I mean, that's where we want to go. We're not going to get there tomorrow, but that's where we want. So there's no rush for them today. They're competing and getting what we want. So sorry about that big team thing. That was a slip on my part.
I just found it mildly amusing. I won't tell Bayern if no one else does. So
this is on the interweb. I think it'll go out. People will be laughing at me.
Sorry. You took revenge. Apparently, according to my boy Riddy, you took a revenge on them by beating them in pre-season in China. So you beat them in the China Teacup tournament or something. What, the Aldi Cup? No, that's the one that Tottenham win, isn't it? Right, that's Spurs' only trophy for the last 10 years, the Aldi Cup or something.
Yeah.
They had to invent their own pre-season tournament just to win it. I mean,
yeah. So we hit that 75-minute mark. So I'm gonna let everybody have their final thoughts as we head out of here. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I guess we'll start here. So,
Tom,
Mr.
where's
Tom,
the duck? Where's your duck at?
it doesn't show up every
he,
day.
He rests on Mondays. He comes out on Fridays. I thought I'd pose an interesting football fact, a weird football fact / question. There's only one football team that has never lost to Brazil. That have played Brazil. Who is that team?
Ooh.
It's not a trick question. It's a legitimate question. They've played Brazil 4 times, never lost to them.
Wow.
Sweden.
Very close, impressive, very close.
Norway.
That's right. It's Norway.
Wow.
2 wins, 2 draws.
Wow.
Damn Nordic teams.
It just struck me as quite random because you would assume it wouldn't be them, but at the same time, why wouldn't it be? As it is. Anyway, have a good week, everyone.
Ready towards England. Mr. Tony, let's go. So as we say our goodbyes.
I just hopefully we see a better performance this weekend. We probably won't. We just need to go get the result, go get the 3 points. We got a good enough team to do that. Hopefully the manager doesn't do anything stupid. Hopefully Saka's nice and fit. If not, he needs it rested, and we need to see Pepe because I think he can do enough out there on the wing. But other than that, we're in Europe. We need to go out there and solidify top 4. We could do that in January. We'll let it slip away. 3 weeks ago, we went from 75% chance of qualifying to 26%. Now we're back up to 75%. So it's in our hands. We just need to go take care of business.
Definitely. And hello to O Slice X. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
We are about
Slice.
We are about to head out.
Thank you for your kind and gracious comment.
Mr. Tom doesn't like that for some reason. I'm not sure, but Matt, talk to me as we head out of here.
We'll get the dub this Sunday. Like I said, don't be surprised if it's a draw because this is the type of game that we'll drop. Let's just get the 3 points. Then we'll just week by week. We got to get 9 points. That's all we got to do is 9 points, y'all. Just find 9 points a week. So that's it, man. That's it.
Cool. And yes, so as we had out here, another win. Gets us closer to our goal, Champions League, and we'll get to hear that music. Hopefully, that'd be really nice. And then once again, look, Tom. I don't think anybody has not said this. Don't worry, you won't get relegated. So skip to next week. This weekend I won't be.
I appreciate the graciousness of the Arsenal universe.
Yeah, so everybody, thank you for joining us. We're going to do this again next week. We'll be talking about the Leeds results and looking forward to the North London derby. So that should be good. And we got a duck, and Tony's pulling out his toys now as we head out of here. So yeah,
what's his name? What's the duck's name?
Thomas.
Why would you name a duck after me?
I don't think his name was Thomas until he met you.
His name's Affleck.
Everybody, we've got Thomas the duck on the show. So, and we got Cyril
Something's
as well.
foul
But
about Tom.
he's away. So yeah, so everyone, we will do this again next Monday. We will talk. We talk, like I said, talking about the Leeds results in our North London derby going forward. Have a good time for the rest of this week, and we'll see you again. And like I always like to say, life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride, and we'll see you then. All right, everybody.
Another duck.
And we're out of here. And Tony's showing our duck to say goodnight, Tony.
Good night, Tony.
There we go, everybody. And we're out.